Welcome to my YouTube channel. Name is Captain Crush. That's the moniker. The game is NBA Daily Fantasy Sports today. Anyways, that is what I'm going to cover for PrizePicks, Sleeper, Chalkboard, Parlay Play. It's all relevant. Try to teach you how to have a fundamental, solid process to help you build and make your own parlays and have a solid sweat every single day of the week. I'm not going to be your average talking head and just come on here and spit a bunch of clown nonsense and spoon feed you. I'm going to actually challenge you and try to get you thinking the right way. If that sounds like your cup of tea, then sit back, pop your snack, drink your Red Bull, whatever have you, and let's get in the mix and start cooking on this wonderful, glorious Taco Tuesday, baby. We got 3 tacos coming down the pike, and you better believe I'm going to try to cook them all. Now, a lot of my brothers and sisters in Christ are having some issues over here in the great state of Florida, Massachusetts, Wyoming, Wisconsin. A lot of the states, PrizePicks and Underdog, they're moving out of the market. Have no fear. Other sites do exist, like Parlay Play right here. The link's in the description. Use code CRUSH. You'll get your deposit match. You'll get your bonus. You'll get a free month of Captain Scored. You get all that. But regardless of the promos, this is where you can go grab your alternate lines. Here you go. Yo, Donnie, he's right here. He's the taco on PrizePicks. You can take him 1.32x at 22.5 points, or you can take the OG line, which was 24.5, which I locked in last night. And then you can go down and you can take Kyrie Irving at 22.5 points, pair them together. You get almost a full double up, 1.98x, okay? You can put in, that will give you your 2x. You bet 30, you win 59.4. It's basically 2x. You can also take lower on alternate lines, whatever have you. They pay out fast. They're reputable. I wouldn't put my name on them if they weren't. So those of you that no longer have PrizePicks, don't be scared. Try other things. Remove your tribalism and try other things. Remember, the link is right in the description. Use code CRUSH, get in the mix. You compare these two or whatever else have you, and send me the email. I'll get you in my cord where I cover all the plays, do it live. And then for those of you who have Apple, because it's not on Android yet, you can use Chalkboard, which is right here. The link is also in the description. Code CRUSH gets you the discount, gets you the promo, and everything else. They had a free square today. Unfortunately, by the time I made this video, it's already expired, but look what I did. I paired it with Kyrie. You can take alternate lines. I paired it with Murray and Edwards, Dame Lillard, and John Collins. All these are alternate lines, and now you can, what they refer to as shield is the same thing as flex. Basically, I went all in. It gives me 7.19x payout, but if you were to flex this, it would pay you 4.5x if you hit 6 of 6. And then I believe 1.5x if you get 5 of 6. And that is because these are alternate lines and we're paying the juice. So this is the chalkboard slip if you decide you want to tail. Code CRUSH, get in the mix, throw me the email, yada yada, you guys know the drill. Now, being that it's Taco Tuesday and there's 11 games today, we have a plethora of news that's going to come down the pike. Late last night, 3, 4 in the morning, I was up late cooking emojis for the cord to have fun with, cooking props. Donovan Mitchell, 36.5 PRA. I got him at 34.5. He is now the taco. Most of you guys will have him. I'm sure by the time this video is released, it's going to be expired. There's going to be a new one coming down. What I like to do with my tacos, okay? I like to take my taco shell. I put a little ground beef in there, lettuce, sauce, cheese, bang, put it in the gullet, and I get my 2x. That's how I do it. So most of you get $25 max on your tacos. So this is the game plan. Whatever the taco is, let's just say it was Donnie. Yo, Donnie! Is Donnie hitting tonight? Is he gonna hit his taco and OG line? I'm telling you right now, Donnie, if you sell the cord and you sell the chat, I'm gonna break bones. Draymond Green, 3.5 assists. This is the best Goblin on the board statistically speaking. I believe it was 84% of a hit rate when you take the mathematically and the vig out of the equation. 3.5 assists for Draymond, okay? Is this a lock? Absolutely not. Nothing's a lock. He could literally play 2 quarters, get ejected. He could play 1 quarter and get ejected, or worse, they could mop the floor with the Wizards. Anything and everything can happen. There's no such thing as a lock, except for that the government makes you pay taxes. That, my friends, is your only lock. Now you take Draymond Green, you take whatever taco it is. It's not showing up yet. Let me refresh this mug. It's still not showing up, but whatever the case may be, let's just pretend for argument's sake Donnie Mitchell was still the taco and he was at 21.5. You'd pair this together and it's gonna pay you 1.8x because Draymond Green is so juiced, okay? But even then, 1.8x is basically a double up. So you take your 20, you bet it there, bang. You're gonna make $16 if it comes in. Then you get rid of the guy Goblin, you keep the taco, you take your 4 other props that you like, and you put the other 5 on it, and hopefully that hits. And that is how you do it. The Goblin and taco hit, you're scooping in $16 profit, okay, plus your 20 back, so you're gonna get your 36, and then the 5-man flex that you make, assuming the taco hits, you only need 3 out of the other legs to double up. If all 4 come through, you're 10xing, you're walking into the bank 10x richer, bang, you collect your 50, you don't pass go, and you're in the mix. Now, let me show you something real quick. I'm teaching right now. I'm doing the Lord's work. If you go to Jalen Brown, not all goblins are equal. If you take this is another great goblin. Now, normally I just do this in my Discord, but I'm doing it on the YouTube because I'm feeling froggy and I'm leaping. 1.9x, as you can see, it's a little bit better, but this is also a good goblin. 14.5 points. He projects for a little over 20. The only issue is the blowout spread potential, but I honestly think Jalen Brown can get this. I don't like taking it, but the math is math, and whenever the math is math, and you got to be in the mix. Now, before I realize, I'm not telling you to take Donnie at 26.5. I got him at 24.5 last night, and I'm just saying we're using Donovan Mitchell as a experiment, not as an experiment, as a visual tool because he was just the taco, okay? I'm just showing you guys what's possible. Then, if you go take a more volatile goblin like Colin Sexton, by the way, your boy likes this because I'm going to talk about a man, a myth, a legend that's going to be smashing for the Atlanta Hawks. But Colin Sexton, 14.5 points, 2.1x. Do you see the difference? Not all goblins are created equal, my brothers and sisters in Christ. They ain't all equal. So you have your little smorgasbord, your appetizer, whatever you want to call it. You got 1.8x, you got 1.9x, and then you got 2.1x. Bang! Choose your destiny and test your might, and let me know what you come up with in the comments below. Now let's get started, okay? That is what I do for the tacos. And if you are a member of my Discord, you know that already. You know how Captain Crush rolls with the tacos. The goal is to make max value, to get in and get out, and hopefully have a $75 profit day, since 25 each, maybe more, and that is a good day, okay? Period. We're slow and steady around here. We ain't trying to get rich overnight because we got common sense. Now let's get our feet firing. First things first, the taco was Yo Donnie, but now he's not a taco anymore, so can we take Yo Donnie anywhere else? Well, here's the deal. I got Donnie last night at like 34.5 PRA. He's now 36.5 PRA, but his fantasy score just might be crispy, and you gotta consider it. Now let me bust out this notepad before I throw hands. It's a shame that not everybody saw yesterday's video. YouTube was giving me problems with the upload. By the time it uploaded, it was 5 p.m. Central Time. You hate to see it. Barely anybody saw it, and it was an absolute banger. Josh Hart points, play of the day. Cash it, sweat free. It was done at halftime, baby. Now here we go. We got Yo Donnie, 1.39 fantasy points per minute with a 32% usage rate, and Cap Garland's back, Cap. It don't matter. I've already factored that into the mix. 1.39, let's multiply it times 36 because old Donnie's gonna play 36 minutes in a close game. Bang! A 50 bomb, a 50 burger. You love to see it, but at the same time, you hate to see it because if Donnie doesn't get 44 fantasy points, you just want to smack him into next week, okay? Because he should get 50 on average. And let me tell you, that usage rate at 32%, it's crispy, okay? So consider Yo Donnie in the mix today when you make your contest. And the thing is that, he may have the taco curse. Maybe, just maybe, you want to fade him for that reason, and I wouldn't begrudge you a bit. Now, let's talk about the optimal 1v1 runbacks from the other side of that coin. We got Kyrie and we got Luka. Where are we going? Well, I can't advocate for either of these gentlemen at the current fantasy total price. Can Luka get 57 fantasy score? Absolutely. Does Captain Crush wear ridiculous hats on his head? Of course. He can hit 57 fantasy points any given time he's on the court. But I went to his first half because he's a first half wagon. Now I'm going to go look. Remember, I do these live and in person. Let's see if they bumped it up. And I know they did. I got this last night at 25.5 PRA. It moved to 27. Now it's back to 26.5. His points was at 16 last night. His fantasy was at 28. Then it went to 29. Now it's back to 28. Then it went to 29. You follow me? You know what I'm saying? It's moving up. It's moving down. It's going every which way in between. But the fact of the matter is this. Luka Doncic first half has been a wagon. And when I say wagon, I mean wagon. He's been hitting. If you want to take the bump, you can. If you want to fade it, I understand that too. If you want to take the full game, you can get in the mix. Also, don't be fooled. Kyrie is in the mix as well. Luka has a 1.75 fantasy point per minute with an astonishing 36% usage rate. The man's him. Face it. You hate to see it. Sorry, Neek, but the fact is Luka's a coming up GOAT. Deal with it, buddy. Know your role and give the man some respect. So that is where I would go from there. You can always take a shot on Kyrie Irving because you know the public's going to be heavy on Luka. So if you want to pivot and go left, Kyrie's your man. Points, fantasy, rebounds at 4.5 was crispy. They bumped it to 5. So now you got to go elsewhere. Now with Luka too, if you don't want to take his fantasy, let me tell you, his points always in the mix. Always in the mix. His turnovers at 3.5 was in the mix. I don't know. I think they took it off. But remember, if this game somehow stays close, and I'm praying that it does, he should be able to clear all of these. And this is deflation by Los Central. I cannot remember the last time I saw Luka's RA at 16.5. You could consider this. It could be one of those nights where his shot's off and he just decides to dish dimes, grab some boards. We'll have to wait and see. But that's all I got to say about that for that game. And I will tell you this, Jarrett Allen and Mobley and Garland, all those guys need to be considered. It's going to be up to you whichever way you want to go. I'm not here to give you everything, okay? Now, next, the man that's most likely going to be the thumbnail, Dejounte Murray, baby. Dejounte Murray. No Trae Young, no problem. The man's been crushing. He's been a wagon. The wagon of wagons, okay? The Spurs are hating life for getting rid of him because what were they thinking? My brothers and sisters in Christ, this is an absurd number for Dejounte Murray, but look at the ceiling. 20, 17, 11, 14, 13, 20 against Orlando. Might as well be 40 against Utah Jazz. You understand what I'm telling you? It's in the mix. They bumped all of his lines, folks. Bumped it all. I got his assist last night at 8.5. Crispy. So now if he lands on 9, it's a cash. That being said, I can't advocate for you to take 9 assists because then he's going to need 10, but that doesn't mean that he won't cash you because he's Dejounte Murray and the man respects coin. I liked his PRA at 39.5. I'm surprised it didn't move. Nobody wants to take his PRA. I did take a shot on it. And next, his fantasy score. My brothers and sisters in Christ, okay? The man, Dejounte Murray, 1.31 fantasy points over the last 5 games has been his average, okay, which is when he's been seeing the uptick in usage and performance. 1.13 fantasy points per minute overall with a 25% usage rate. Again, that's going to be increased with no Trae Young on the court. So we go right over here to the calculator. Let's see what we got. 1.31 because we're operating without Trae Young. Let's say he plays 37 minutes. Bang, 48.47. What does that tell you? It means minutes equals money. He's going to need to have 37 at least to cover. It's going to be a sweat, but he is in the mix. He has a high ceiling. He can get this done. If the game stays close, I don't see how Dejounte Murray doesn't cover at least 3 of these propositions. Whether it's his fantasy score, his PRA, his R plus A, if you want that crispy push equity and you say you want to buy high, you should be buying low, which means you should probably be taking under here. But I will never advocate for under on Dejounte Murray. If you want to take over at 15, get in the mix. The man's been a wagon, and you need to respect him and consider him in your contest today. Whatever you do, you got to have some exposure to Dejounte Murray. And at the same time, from that same game, okay, what do we got? We got Collins going back to the Hawks to try to get some vengeance. Is he going to get it done? I don't know. I really don't know. I'll tell you what I do know. I got his RA at 10.5 last night. Crispy. Now it's at 11, and I know the last 5 Kings have been riding this train till the wheels fall off. You last 5 Kings, today is your day because it just so happens, I said this last night, it just so happens the last 5 Kings, today's your day because the math is finally mathing. All the last 5 wagons were literally being juiced to go over. I'm talking minus 135 at 10.5. It's now bumped up. You got to make a decision. Everyone asks me, and when they wake up in the morning and they see what I cooked, Cap, should I take the bumps? That's a personal decision. If you want to take the bumps, if you want to get in the mix, you decide that. I can't tell you what to do because the value has come and it's gone and you missed it. So you got to decide. Do you feel strongly enough about it to where you're happy eating a push with the occasional upside of him getting 12? My brothers and sisters in Christ, I will leave that decision to smarter minds like the chat that I know. The intelligence in the chat has to be high, right? We already know the public is full of intelligence, right? Right? Figure it out, boys. Now, if you don't want to go there, you can take a stab at his PRA, I guess. Take a stab at his points, I guess. But honestly, boys, I'm thinking that fantasy score is hitting. 31 fantasy score for John Collins might just be the move with the bumps, okay? Because he's got added incentive to play. It's a pace-up spot. He checks 3 out of the 4 boxes. Hopefully he gets it done and he crushes. Model has him going for roughly 32 fantasy points. It's gonna be a sweat. The Utah Jazz, Will Hardy, he's always gonna be messing around with the rotations. The man doesn't respect your coin, much less mine, okay? Will Hardy doesn't care about your parlays, and he proves it every single night when he's putting together his trash rotations for the Utah Jazz. That is my only reservations here, folks, okay? But if you're going to run back Dejounte Murray with anybody, you can look at old John Collins because, again, he checks 3 out of my 4 boxes, my 4 pillars. Those that have been following me for a hot minute, they know the captain's pillar. Now, there's another man that's in the mix, and his name is Jalen Johnson, and he's also a Hawk. Now, I'm telling you, Hunter, he's back in the fold. Sadiq Bey's in the mix. Jalen Johnson. But Jalen Johnson, where are you at, buddy? Where's your fantasy? 42 fantasy. I took this the other day. He was a sweat until he wasn't. He soared over 52 fantasy points against the slow-paced Orlando Magic. He's somebody that can get it done too. So if you want the same game and you want an easier path, you say, Cap, I'm not going with Dejounte Murray. He's going to be completely popular. Everyone's going on Dejounte Murray. I want to go left. Everyone's going right. Bang. Jalen Johnson, you take him. You take his fantasy score. You thank me later. If he hits, he hits. If he chalks, he chalks. It is what it is, my friends. They can't all be winners. And speaking of winners, yesterday I was doing the Lord's work. Nobody saw that video, but it was a 4-game poverty slate. Today, I'm opening the floodgates because we finally get 12 games. I like some of these propositions, so I'm going to be cooking all day long. Scheming emoji, buddy. Yes, sir. I'm cooking it up. I'm posting all my slips under the Captain Slips tab. So choose your destiny, figure out what you want to tail, and go from there. Hopefully it all hits. If it all chalks, it chalks. But I promise you, I'm doing the work. I'm getting it in good. Now, how do you get in the mix? The Discord members. How do these kids in the chat that aren't in the mix get in there yet? Leave them a comment and tell them if it's worth it. I'm being dead serious. If you actually enjoy being in my Discord, let them know in the comments so they know that I'm not just like, making it up. Maybe they don't like it. Maybe you guys don't like it. Maybe you guys lie to me and you hate it. But the fact is, we have a good time. And at the end of the day, all this whole thing, sweating the slips, betting it, it's all about having a good time. If you're not having a good time, uninstall because that ain't hitting, okay? I'm doing this for fun, for the lulz, for the excitement, for the sweat, the thrill. Obviously, we want to make coin, but at the end of the day, I want to have fun. You understand what I'm telling you? And I offer a thriving community where we can have a good time. Yesterday, I popped open the live stream at around 4:45, 5 o'clock, and I stayed on that mug till around 8 or 9 Central. 4 to 5 hour live stream. We were sweating the games, cooking the live slips, doing it all, baby. And it was a blast. I actually enjoyed it. And we had almost 160 to start, and it ended up being like 70 or 80 that hovered around till the end. And I know everybody can't make it to a live stream, much less stay in there for 5 hours. But the fact is, if you can make it into the live stream, that is where you're going to get your money and your value. Bang. This is what was up yesterday, okay? Remember, slow and steady. People look at my bet. Oh, you only bet 5. Listen, I tell my Discord members only bet 5 to 10. We're slow and steady here, guys. You're not getting rich overnight. Do we nuke once in a while? Sure. If you want to nuke, do your best. But I will always keep it 100 with you. 5 to 10 max, I will tell you. Scooty Barnes, talked about him on the YouTube channel, and my play of the day, Josh Hart, 11.5 points. I sat here in this chair. I told you guys specifically, if you're going to take Josh Hart, do not take over 9 rebounds. Take the points. And then I said, if I cannot get you to give up the rebounds, you take his R+A, which he literally covered in the final second of the game. He got an offensive rebound, missing his free throw, got the rebound. Absolutely hysterical to cover the 13.5 RA. But his points was sweat-free, baby, and I was all over it. That was my play of the day yesterday. Bang, cash it. Live stream gave it out. Another one, Tyrese Halliburton, under 37.5 PRA, sweat freaking free. Again, paired it with Josh Hart. These were all on the live stream. This was the daily double yesterday. Tyrese Halliburton, under 37.5 PRA. Jalen Brunson, more 24.5 points. Cash it, a full double up basically. And then this was my pick 5 lottery ticket that I posted early on in the day. Josh Hart cash, Scooty Barnes 7 assists cash, the combo for the rebounds cash, Fettuccine Alfredo. His line was 12.5 when I OG posted. They bumped him down to 11.5. I was able to cancel, go back and adjust it. He got just 12. He played his minutes. He shot bad. It was a good play, but the fact is, those of you that got it at 12.5, you got hooked. If you went back like I told you to do and retake it at 11.5, you cashed 2x because Jaren Jackson Jr. and the poverty Memphis Grizzlies sold the bag. They literally were the closest spread on the slate and they sold big league. It wasn't even a game. They were down 30 at half. It was absolute poverty. It was always going to be Bam Adebayo there. It should have never been Jaren Jackson Jr. That whole game was trash. It is what it is. 2x, hit me. And then the 3-man power I did. Josh Hart again, Quentin Grimes, what a sweat. 0 at half. And then in the fourth quarter, he went ham. And RJ Barrett, everybody wanted RJ Barrett over, not Captain Crush. No, sir, I know too much about RJ Barrett. Give me the under and cash it. Was it a sweat? It's always a sweat. It's RJ Barrett. He's a shooter, but still, give me that cash. I'll take my 5x. And then we're back to square one. Now, that was yesterday. Now, I have other plays that I posted. A lot of people are cashing in here. The live streams were mint. Couple people were hitting 25x. Romelius is hooking people up with the esports. Look at this bet. 170 power play. What a freaking degen. But hey, he wants to gamble and he's hitting. And he does post his slips under the roll members slips. So make sure you get in the mix, okay? Because he's doing the Lord's work in the Discord. And most of my roll members do. We have a great group going right now. This is the best the Discord has ever been as far as contributing members in here. It's the best it's ever been. I got rid of the toxicity and now we're ready to cook. So, like always, I'm not here to nickel and dime you guys. I provide a service and I give you value. Live streams, I do projection sheets, which people make their own slips off my model projections every day and cash. Ask them. I'm telling you, you're getting your value worth, and I give you my personal plays and slips that I like. I do it all. I give you, if you sign up with my partners, a 30-day free trial to check me out. If you go to CaptainCrush.net, today is probably the last day that I'm going to offer this. The gold package, it's normally $25 a month. This is for first-time Cord member users. You go there, 1 month, you type in this code. This is the last day, I'm telling you. Unless I have a monster day tonight, this is the last day I'm doing this code. Okay, you crush 50, all caps, bang, easy, $12.50 a month. You just literally save 50% off. And God is my witness, I paid $20 today for a Starbucks coffee and breakfast sandwich. God as my witness, you're literally getting half of that, $12.50, and you'll get it back. Since I started this promo, which was Friday, I believe, Thursday, 25x, Friday, 25x, Saturday, a couple of hits, Sunday, a couple of hits, yesterday did decent. I mean, you would have already made your coin back and more, but on top of it all, besides all of that, folks, I teach you guys how to do this, okay? I'm not just gonna, why do you want me just to spoon feed you? Yeah, I get it if you don't have a lot of time and you just want action, and I do provide that, but for those that want to actually learn how to do this, I teach you, okay? Why do you think so many people join Captain Crush's Discord and then they get the harebrained stupid idea that all of a sudden they are him and they can go start their own Discord? It's laughable. It takes way more to do a Discord than just giving picks, buddy, okay? I'm telling you. And if you don't believe me, why do you think there's so many people that have Discords, then they fail, and then they end up coming back to me or whatever else? It's ridiculous, okay? And now you got people that used to be in my Cord, like Neek, trying to do their own Discord. Paying Neek for a Discord is equivalent to paying Captain Crush to fix your car engine, okay? You want to know what I know about car engines? Zero, buddy. I don't know anything. Maybe I watch a YouTube video and it tells me how to do it. You want Captain Crush working on your car? Trust me, I'm telling you, you don't, okay? Now, I'm not trying to bury anybody on the microphone, but if he wants to play that game, if he wants to come at Captain Crush, he's going to get all the smoke. That's just how it is. Now, let's get back to the cook. I did my plug. Remember, the promo code is CRUSH50, all caps. I'm doing God's work for you people. Let them know, chat. Let them know in the comments. I'm begging you. By the way, Josh Hart under 9 rebounds yesterday. Bang! Cash it, but cash out everything else. That is called surgery, and that is how a play of the day is done. When you take one side over and the same guy, you can take another of his stat under, that is when you know you performed surgery, okay? Now let's keep it moving. Talking about the Minnesota T-Wolves, we got the Spurs and Wolves, a dumpster fire in the making because the Wolves might just blow them out. I'm begging them not to, but we got Towns out of the mix. And now we have to consider Anthony Edwards, okay? His fantasy score was at 44.5 earlier. I locked it in. I took his rebounds at 5.5. Now Towns is out of the mix. He's nowhere to be found. So they bumped it up to 6. Did I get value? Yes. Make sure you're in the Discord. If they bring his fantasy score back into the fray and it's at 44, bang, salute. You got captain's blessing. Put it in the mix because Ant Edwards, woo, he respects coin, baby. Friday night, backdoor cover. The man cashed us all 25x. The last leg, he came through. Even when the chat was pre-chalking. Put some respect on his name. Iceberg's team, you got to respect that team. So make sure you consider Anthony Edwards. And then as far as the big man, Slender Slim himself, they don't have him up here anymore. Where's old Victor Slines at? What do they got here? What's going on? I don't see anything for Victor, which means there must be news or something that dropped on the Spurs side. We'll cover that in the live stream today. Make sure you're in there. But old Ant Edwards commands a 1.26 fantasy point per minute and a 32% usage rate. And then we talked about Collins, 1.07 fantasy points per minute with a 19% usage rate. Talked about Jalen Johnson, 1.06 fantasy point per minute and an 18% usage rate. And then the final dart throw. What's a dart, Cap? A dart throw is not a surgical move. Some people use it like that, but dart is hit or miss. It means you take your favorites, your anchors, then you have a pool of darts, a literal bucket of darts. You got Jabari Smith here, you got Jalen Johnson over here, you got Poverty over there, and then you put them into your slips, because if your anchors hit, let's just say your anchors was Collins and Murray, right? Or the Taco and Murray, or whatever your anchors are. Then you get that pool of darts and you start making 5-mans with it. So if your anchors hit, you just need 1 or 2 darts to hit to be profitable. You do that, and that is how you can cash multiple slips and leave behind Nagasaki when you get it right. When the anchors cash and your darts cash, at least 2 out of the 3, it's literally one of those days where you get 4 to 5 winning slips and it's just a wall of green, baby. We built a wall and PrizePicks paid for it. Trump would be proud. You know what I'm saying? That is how you get in the mix. Now, there's so much here that I could discuss. There's so many things that I could talk about. I mean, this is a massive slate, and you better believe it's going to be a master class on the live stream today once again, because I got a lot to talk about. My Oklahoma Thunder, what did I just say? Jabari Smith needs to be considered. PRA and his fantasy score. Why, Cap? Why are we talking about that? It's a blowout spread and whatever. Because the Thunder get cooked inside the 4 and 5 situation. Even with Chet in the mix, it's still their weak spot. I called him out last time and he soared over. Now here's the thing. He played 41 minutes in that game. If he plays 41 minutes again tonight, the man is going to soar. I'm telling you. If Jabari Smith plays 41 minutes tonight, chat, look out, because he's cashing and he's coming back with a green bean. 48 fantasy points against the OKC Thunder and 53 against Phoenix Suns. I'm blowing a fuse. Okay, this is my team and they're giving this up. We got to plug this leak if we're going to be number 1 in the West and stay there, okay? But the fact is, the man's fantasy point per minute is absolute dog water. 0.94 with a crispy low 17% usage rate. It ain't hitting, Chief. Or is it? 0.91, multiply it times 41, because that's how many minutes he played. 37. He soars by 6. Now you may call me a crazy man, but he just played 41 minutes the night before, and the night before that, back-to-back 41 minutes. Are the chains unleashed on Jabari Smith? Now they don't have Eason hogging around in the mix. The Rockets happen to be poverty, okay? My Thunder should wipe the floor with them. The only thing that scares Captain Crush is this. The spread, it just ain't hitting. It's a 10.5 point spread. But remember, this is a guide. We can't use this as doctrine or gospel, because yesterday the Brooklyn Nets were a 2.5 point game spread and they ended up getting beat by 30 at half. Memphis got beat by 30 at half. You never know what's going to happen. But look at this crispy spread. 236 and 1.5 point for you two. I almost said Utah or YouTube. I meant to say Utah. Utah Jazz versus the Hawks, 1.5 point spread. I'm getting fired up. I'm telling you right now, the live stream's going to be a banger, because I am going to give a master class in cooking today. I'm telling you. God is my witness. I'm going to give it my all today in the live stream. But the fact is, you got to consider Jabari Smith, okay? If I can't sell you on Jabari Smith, then God bless you. If he plays 40 minutes, book it, okay? If he plays 29 minutes, well, then chalk it all. Minutes equals money. I try to project the minutes. If I can get the minutes right, I can tell you who to play when it comes to these fantasy fantasy scores. If they don't play the minutes, well then chalk it all, man. Now, for those of you that are like, Cap, give me an under. I need an under in my veins, Cap. I'm begging you. We can go right over here to the poverty franchise of them all, baby. The poverty franchise of them all. And here's the rub and stick of it all, fellas and women. Mikal Bridges. I took a shot. I sat on live stream yesterday. I said, folks, he's due a big game. And he is due a big game. And yesterday could have been the time he did it. And now he sold yesterday because he barely played any minutes because of the blowout. But even then, he was still hot garbage. Absolutely terrible. I'm so tired of Mikal Bridges and the Brooklyn Nets. But here we go once again. It's playing the Orlando Magic, an even worse matchup in pace than the Memphis Grizzlies. And now Cam Thomas, he's out of the mix. So we got Mikal Bridges. He was a 25.5 P plus R earlier. They lowered it down to 24.5 right before I could click submit. Then his points plus assists was at 24.5. I was able to get it at less. Now it's already moved down to 23.5. So what can I tell you? Where am I going with this? The fact is, if you want an under today, if you want to take a shot, Mikal Bridges under 28.5 PRA. I cannot believe that I'm even saying this because it goes against every fiber in my being. He is due a monster game, but you can't ignore this, man. The dude has just been hot garbage, okay? And I'm so tired of the Brooklyn Nets, but the fact is, I got my value in on the P plus A under. If you want to take a stab on this under and just ride that train, you can. But the other side of that coin is, remember, there's always two sides to the rigged coin, fellas. He can soar over that if he does decide to get hot. He is due a monster game. It's something to consider. Each side of the coin, baby. It is what it is. And then, last but least, for an under, we have Cade the Maid Cunningham. Yesterday, I had under on old Cade, and what did he do to Captain Crush? He shot lights out and he punished me. He made me pay the price, and pay the price I did. I took under at 21. The line moved all the way down to 20.5, so I locked in my value, and it didn't matter because old Cade shot like 5 for 6 from three-point land, and he shot 50% overall. He just couldn't miss. Jalen Brunson and Cade Cunningham yesterday put on a master class, and Captain Crush was the victim. Victimless crime? I was the victim. I lost coin on both of those men. Actually, I will say this. I did make money on Jalen Brunson, but I lost money on Cade. It is what it is, but he has been crushing the Chicago Bulls. Bad matchup. He's due regression. If you wanted to take less on Cade, I would take less on his points or his overall fantasy score. I will say this. Old Monty got on the mic yesterday and was spitting some serious fire, so maybe the Pistons are fired up and they want to come out tonight and get a W because they feel like they got slighted by the old zebra stripes. So keep that in mind. Run the narrative. But most of all, I hope you got something out of this video, folks. I went over my thought process for the day. Remember, you can sign up with any of Captain Crush's partners. The links are in the description. Outlier Bet, DG Fantasy, where I teach how to use these tools every single day in my live streams. DG Fantasy, Outlier Bet, code CRUSH on both, links in the description. And for those of you that are losing PrizePicks, take your Rudy Poos. You're scared, I know it, it's scary. You go over to Parlay, Play, and Chalkboard, possibly Sleeper. You type in code CRUSH, you get your bonus, and then you send Captain Crush an email. Look at this bag. And then I give you a 30-day free trial, and you get in the best community, hands down. I'm telling you right now, God is my witness. And on top of that, you'll get access to my live streams, my projection sheets that look just like this. Player name, look at this. Simon Fontecchio, Detroit Knicks. Yesterday, 21 fantasy points. Captain Crush, what was your projection? 12.2967 points. How many points did Fettuccine Alfredo have, chat? He had exactly 12. The model crushes. I crush, and so does the community. And at the end of the day, we're doing the Lord's work. CaptainCrush.net, gold package. I will see you in the live stream today, or maybe I won't. Maybe you'll be poverty, but the discount code, it's finished after today. Here's the salute. Good luck in all your contests, and my brothers and sisters in Christ. Let's crush.